What if I told you that hidden within the depths of ancient texts lies a story so profound, so controversial, that it was deliberately removed from the pages of history? Imagine a manuscript that speaks of otherworldly beings walking among men, cosmic battles between forces beyond our understanding, and secrets about the universe that some believed were never meant for human eyes. This isn't the realm of fiction. This is the Book of Enoch, a text so powerful, so contentious, that it vanished from Western Christianity for over 1,000 years. And when it resurfaced, it came with revelations that challenge everything we thought we knew about biblical history, angels, and the ancient world. Today, we're diving into the forbidden knowledge contained within one of the most mysterious texts ever written. What you're about to discover might shake the very foundations of what we know, or think we know, about the origins of good and evil, the spiritual realm, and humanity's role in this cosmic narrative. But before we begin, I have to warn you, this isn't just another history lesson. The Book of Enoch holds truth so controversial that early religious authorities deemed it too dangerous for common believers to understand. It was a text to be hidden, suppressed, even feared. And as we uncover its mysteries together, you'll come to understand why this ancient manuscript was concealed for centuries, only to resurface in our modern age with relevance that's hard to ignore. The forgotten prophet. Who was Enoch? In the vast tapestry of biblical history, filled with towering figures like Moses, Abraham, and David, one figure stands out, not for his deeds on earth, but for his mysterious connection to the divine. His name is Enoch, and unlike others, his story isn't filled with tales of battles, miracles, or grand prophecies. No, Enoch's legacy is more enigmatic, woven through a few sparse but powerful lines of scripture that leave us with more questions than answers. So, who was Enoch? Why did ancient writers feel compelled to tell us about him? And why has he remained one of the most intriguing yet overlooked characters in biblical tradition? To answer these questions, let's first consider what we know about him from the traditional texts. In the book of Genesis, the first mention of Enoch is brief but profound. Genesis 5:24 tells us simply, Enoch walked with God, then he was no more, because God took him. These words hint at a unique relationship between Enoch and the divine. He didn't die a natural death, as other patriarchs did. Instead, Enoch was taken by God, vanishing from the world in a way that no other human being, aside from Elijah, experienced. This phrase, walked with God, is used sparingly in the Bible, and each time it appears, it signifies an individual who possessed an extraordinary closeness to the Creator. In the case of Enoch, this closeness was so deep, so pure, that it warranted his removal from the earthly plane entirely. Think about that for a moment. This wasn't just an honorable mention, it was a statement of divine favor, an indication that Enoch was different from others around him, perhaps chosen for a purpose beyond mortal understanding. And yet, despite his unique status, Enoch is barely mentioned again in the traditional Hebrew Bible. We know almost nothing about his life, his deeds, or even his personality. Why would such an important figure, someone favored enough to be taken by God, be left out of further narrative detail? This omission only adds to the mystery surrounding him, as though his story was deliberately obscured, hidden from plain sight. But Enoch wasn't forgotten everywhere. While the Hebrew Bible is silent on his legacy, other ancient texts preserved outside of mainstream scripture contain entire books dedicated to his teachings, visions, and prophecies. The most famous of these is the Book of Enoch, a text that presents a staggering glimpse into Enoch's life and his experiences in the divine realm. This book, once considered part of the scriptural canon by some early Christian communities, vanished from Western Christianity in the 4th century AD and would remain largely forgotten until its rediscovery in the late 18th century. Imagine the shock that scholars must have felt, uncovering an ancient text with such profound insights hidden away in the Ethiopian highlands for over 1,000 years. Why, then, was the Book of Enoch excluded from the Bible as we know it? There are many theories. Some say it was considered too mystical, too controversial, filled with cosmic visions and celestial mysteries that didn't align with the emerging orthodoxy of the time. Others suggest that its content was simply too disturbing for common believers, with its tales of fallen angels, divine judgments, and revelations about the origins. Didn't merely comfort. They confronted and challenged the very fabric of what people believed about the world, about heaven, and about humanity's role within it. But to truly grasp why Enoch's story was so extraordinary, we need to delve deeper into what makes his journey unique. Unlike other prophets who were granted visions of the future or insights into God's will, Enoch was given something much rarer. He was taken on a cosmic journey, a tour of realms beyond human comprehension, and he witnessed divine mysteries that, according to his writings, were not meant for his own generation, but for a distant future generation, perhaps even ours. Imagine yourself in Enoch's place, being led by angels through multiple layers of heaven, each realm revealing a different aspect of the universe's inner workings. According to the Book of Enoch, he saw places where the souls of the righteous await judgment, chambers filled with celestial treasures, and storerooms containing the forces that shape our world: wind, rain, snow, and lightning. Enoch's descriptions are so vivid and detailed that they suggest he wasn't just seeing symbolic visions. He was observing the mechanics of the cosmos, something akin to modern physics, yet understood through an ancient mystical lens. Enoch's journey wasn't only observational. He was also given prophetic insight into the struggles between celestial beings, cosmic battles between good and evil that spill over into the human world. He witnessed the punishment of fallen angels, bound and awaiting judgment for the knowledge they shared with humanity. This wasn't knowledge about farming or building. It was forbidden knowledge, secrets that transformed humanity's fate and led to devastating consequences. One of Enoch's most striking visions concerns the Watchers, a group of angels assigned to observe humanity, but who, instead, chose to interact with them in ways that crossed divine boundaries. According to the Book of Enoch, these angels descended to earth, took human wives, and bore children who became known as the Nephilim, giants who would go on to wreak havoc upon the earth. These weren't simply physical giants, they were beings with powers and appetites far beyond ordinary humans, bringing chaos and violence to an already troubled world. And so, Enoch's story is deeply intertwined with the theme of rebellion, not just human rebellion, but cosmic rebellion, with angels defying their purpose and upsetting the balance of creation itself. In his writings, Enoch reveals that these fallen angels, led by a figure named Semjaza, not only disrupted human society by producing the Nephilim, but also by imparting forbidden knowledge to humanity. They taught skills that elevated human potential but at a terrible cost. The arts of war, the secrets of metallurgy, and even the use of cosmetics, all of these practices, according to Enoch, were introduced by these rebel angels, altering the course of human history forever. This forbidden knowledge gave humanity tools that could be used for both creation and destruction. It was a double-edged sword, igniting our creative power but also feeding our darker impulses. According to Enoch, it was this influx of knowledge, coupled with the destructive influence of the Nephilim, that ultimately led to the Great Flood, a divine reset meant to cleanse the earth of corruption. Yet, Enoch wasn't simply a messenger of doom. his visions also contain promises of hope and restoration. Enoch saw beyond the flood, beyond the cataclysms of his time, foreseeing a future in which justice would prevail, where the righteous would find peace and where the cosmic order would be restored. This duality, the vision of judgment paired with the hope of salvation, is one of the hallmarks of Enoch's writings. He was both a witness to humanity's failures and a harbinger of its potential redemption. So, where does Enoch fit within the broader biblical narrative? For early Christian writers, Enoch's story wasn't just another myth. It was a foundational insight into the nature of good and evil, of divine justice and human responsibility. In fact, the New Testament book of Jude even quotes directly from the Book of Enoch, showing that the early Christians valued his teachings and believed they held important truths about the cosmic battle between light and darkness. Yet as Christianity evolved, Enoch's writings became increasingly marginalized. His accounts of cosmic mysteries, divine beings, and ancient rebellions didn't fit comfortably within the boundaries of a growing orthodoxy. Over time, his story faded from mainstream teachings, and his writings were eventually excluded from the canonical Bible. It's tempting to wonder if there's more to this story, if perhaps Enoch's writings were hidden away not because they were untrue, but because they were too true, because they revealed a reality so profound, so unsettling, that it was deemed safer to keep it out of sight. But, as fate would have it, these ancient texts were preserved in the Ethiopian Orthodox tradition, hidden from the Western world until they were rediscovered in 1773. Imagine the sense of awe and disbelief that must have accompanied this rediscovery. Here was a text, ancient and mysterious, claiming to reveal the inner workings of heaven itself and the forbidden knowledge of fallen angels. It was as though a window had been opened, offering a glimpse into a world beyond our own, a reality where the boundaries between heaven and earth, between the divine and the human, were much thinner than we ever imagined. So, as we begin this journey into the Book of Enoch, we must keep in mind that Enoch's story is not simply one of curiosity or historical interest. It's a story that challenges our understanding of human nature, of divine purpose, and of the cosmic forces that shape our world. Whether you view it as myth, prophecy, or something in between, one thing is certain: Enoch's legacy endures, calling us to question, to seek, and to explore the mysteries of a universe far greater than ourselves. The mysteries of the Book of Enoch. Imagine opening a book that feels as if it holds the secrets of the universe, one where each line seems to peel back a layer of reality, exposing mysteries that humanity was never meant to see. This is the Book of Enoch. It isn't just another ancient text. It's a key to a hidden dimension of understanding, one that invites us into a realm of divine secrets, cosmic battles, and the forbidden knowledge that has been kept from humankind for millennia. So what exactly is the Book of Enoch, and what makes it so profound, and for some, so dangerous? The Book of Enoch is divided into several sections, each offering a glimpse into different aspects of Enoch's visions, revelations, and cosmic journeys. This ancient manuscript isn't like the other books of the Bible, where most biblical texts offer moral teachings, parables, or histories. The Book of Enoch plunges straight into the supernatural, into realms inhabited by angels, watchers, Nephilim, and divine beings who interact with humanity in ways that are as extraordinary as they are terrifying. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Book of Enoch is its exploration of what we might call forbidden knowledge. In this text, Enoch describes knowledge that the heavens deemed too dangerous for humans, secrets that the angelic beings known as the Watchers ultimately chose to share with humanity, setting off a chain reaction of events that would change the course of human history forever. Let's dive into the first mystery. Who are the Watchers, and what role did they play in humanity's downfall? According to the Book of Enoch, the Watchers were a group of 200 angels assigned by God to watch over humanity. Their duty was to observe, to protect, and to guide, but from a distance. Yet, despite their original purpose, these angels developed a fascination with humanity, especially with human women. Under the leadership of Semjaza, they decided to descend to earth, breaking the boundary between heaven and earth to take human wives and produce offspring. This offspring, known as the Nephilim, were giants with physical and spiritual power far beyond ordinary humans. They became a force of destruction, consuming the resources of humanity and, according to Enoch, eventually turning to violence and even cannibalism. The consequences of the Watchers' actions didn't stop there. They didn't just bring their physical presence to earth. They brought knowledge, powerful, transformative, and forbidden knowledge. This was knowledge that humanity was never meant to possess. Enoch's account lists specific angels and the dangerous skills they imparted to humankind. Azazel taught men the art of crafting weapons, swords, shields, armor, thereby introducing the concept of organized warfare. Other angels introduced humanity to alchemy, enchantments, and the secrets of the heavens. One angel, Amazarak, revealed sorcery. Barkael taught astrology. Tamiel shared astronomy. Asradel taught the earth's cycles and the movement of the stars. Think about this for a moment. According to the Book of Enoch, humanity's advancements in weaponry, warfare, science, and the occult didn't emerge from slow discoveries over millennia. They were gifts, or perhaps curses, brought down by these rebellious angels. These teachings elevated human capability, but at a terrible cost, as they sowed seeds of violence, chaos, and moral corruption. This wasn't just a sharing of knowledge. It was the first great act of cosmic rebellion, a betrayal of divine order that would echo throughout history. This forbidden knowledge, introduced by the Watchers, led to humanity's rapid moral decay, a decline that, according to Enoch, ultimately compelled God to cleanse the earth with the Great Flood. The flood, then, wasn't just a punishment for human sin. It was a cosmic reset, a way to purify the earth from the taint of the Nephilim and the corrupted influence of the Watchers. Yet, despite this divine reset, Enoch's text suggests that the effects of this forbidden knowledge didn't entirely disappear. According to Enoch, the spirits of the Nephilim, unable to enter heaven or find rest, became earthbound entities known to us today as demons. They roam the world as evil spirits seeking to manipulate, to possess, to influence, and to corrupt humanity from beyond the grave. If that idea sounds unsettling, it's because it suggests a view of the supernatural world that's vastly different from the traditional biblical perspective. In the Book of Enoch, demons aren't merely fallen angels, they are the restless, vengeful spirits of the Nephilim, driven by a deep-seated hatred for humanity. They long to reclaim the physical forms they lost in the flood, and they seek to influence human behavior to once again sow chaos and destruction on earth. Now, let's go further. In Enoch's writings, there's a section known as the Astronomical Book, where he describes revelations about the structure of the universe and the nature of time. Enoch speaks of multiple heavens, each with specific functions and purposes. Some of these realms are places of punishment, where fallen angels await final judgment. Others are places of peace and rest for the righteous souls awaiting resurrection. But it's Enoch's descriptions of celestial mechanics that truly intrigue modern readers. He describes the heavens, the stars, the sun, and the moon with such precision that some researchers have speculated he was witnessing phenomena akin to modern-day astronomy, something ancient humans shouldn't have had access to. One of the most puzzling aspects of Enoch's writings is his account of the solar year. In the Book of Enoch, he divides the year into 364 days. describing a solar calendar system with remarkable mathematical accuracy. Each year consists of 4 equal seasons of 91 days, with the remaining day marking the transition into the next season. This description was revolutionary, as it predates the standard 365-day solar calendar we use today and is strikingly close to the true length of the solar year. How could an ancient writer like Enoch have known such precise information? Some scholars believe this knowledge must have been revealed to him by the divine beings he encountered on his journeys through the heavens. But perhaps the most captivating mystery of all lies in Enoch's prophetic visions, his glimpses of a distant future, of final judgment, and of a new age where righteousness prevails. In the Book of Enoch, he foresees the coming of the Messiah, a figure who will bring justice and restore the cosmic order disrupted by the rebellion of the Watchers. This prophecy of a messianic figure aligns closely with later Christian beliefs, and it's one of the reasons early Christians found the Book of Enoch so compelling. Enoch didn't just predict a coming judgment, he offered hope for humanity's redemption, a vision of a restored world where the forces of good go beyond his own time and even beyond the coming of the Messiah. He foresees an era when humanity will once again be tempted by forbidden knowledge, a time when wisdom will be rejected and moral decay will run rampant. It's a vision that to many feels eerily relevant to our world today. The rise of technology, the hunger for power, the loss of ethical boundaries. Could it be that we are reliving the events that led to the Great Flood? This idea that Enoch's writings are not just ancient history, but a warning for our generation, is perhaps the most unsettling mystery of all. Enoch believed that his revelations weren't intended for his contemporaries, but for a distant generation, a phrase that some interpret as referring to us. Could it be that Enoch's visions were preserved for our time, a prophetic message from thousands of years ago meant to guide us through the challenges of the modern world? As we continue this journey through the Book of Enoch, let's keep in mind that this isn't just a story from the past. It's a narrative that intersects with our own time, with our own questions, and with our own force us to confront profound questions about the nature of good and evil, about the limits of human knowledge, and about our place in the grand design of the universe. The Book of Enoch challenges us not just to observe these mysteries, but to understand their implications. As we uncover its secrets, we are left with a sense that perhaps these ancient warnings are more relevant today than ever before. Are we, like the people of Enoch's time, standing on the brink of a decision that will shape the future of humanity? Are we prepared to face the consequences of the forbidden knowledge we continue to pursue? The forbidden knowledge, a gift or a curse? The concept of forbidden knowledge is something that has captured humanity's imagination for millennia. From the Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve were tempted by the tree of knowledge, to stories of scientists and magicians dabbling in realms beyond human understanding, the question has always remained, is knowledge itself dangerous? Or is it what we do with that knowledge that truly matters? In the Book of Enoch, this question of forbidden knowledge takes center stage, and the answers we find there are as unsettling as they are revealing. Unlike other biblical texts that hint at hidden wisdom or caution against pride, the Book of Enoch delves into the specifics of exactly what was shared and by whom. It names names, identifies forbidden skills, and details how the introduction of such knowledge had catastrophic consequences for humanity. To understand this better, let's revisit the Watchers, those 200 angels sent to observe and protect humanity. Somewhere along the way, their interest in humanity turned from benign observation to something darker. The Watchers made a fateful decision to descend to Earth, an act that defied divine command. And it wasn't just that they lusted after human women, they also sought to elevate humanity by bestowing upon us knowledge that had been kept hidden by divine decree. But why was this knowledge forbidden in the first place? Why would a loving creator withhold wisdom from his own creation? The Book of Enoch suggests that it was not a matter of keeping humanity in the dark, but rather of protecting them from the destructive potential of certain types of knowledge. The divine beings knew that humanity was not yet prepared to wield such power responsibly, and as we see from Enoch's account, their concerns were well-founded. So what knowledge did these watchers share, and what was the price humanity paid for it? The Book of Enoch is remarkably specific about the types of knowledge that were introduced. One of the most prominent watchers, Azazel, taught humanity how to craft weapons of war, swords, shields, breastplates. This was not a mere revelation of how to survive. It was a leap into organized warfare. With weapons in hand, humanity could now impose its will through force, and conflicts became bloodier, deadlier, and more widespread than ever before. The introduction of this knowledge fundamentally changed human civilization, shifting it from one of simple tribal disputes to structured battles and warfare, where power and dominance were achieved not through reason, but through violence. But Azazel's teachings didn't stop at weaponry. He also showed women how to make and wear cosmetics. This might seem trivial at first, but the implications are significant. By teaching cosmetics, Azazel introduced a way to manipulate appearance, to allure, and perhaps to deceive. Enoch's account implies that this wasn't just about beauty, it was about control and power dynamics, altering the way humans interacted with one another on a deeply psychological level. And then there were the other watchers, each contributing their own type of forbidden knowledge. Amazarach introduced humanity to enchantments and the use of root cutting, essentially revealing the secrets of magic and the occult. Barkayal shared the mysteries of astrology, showing humans how to interpret the movements of celestial bodies as signs and omens. Tamiel taught astronomy, illuminating the paths of the stars and planets, while Azradel taught about the Earth's cycles and its natural energies. On the surface, these teachings seem like powerful gifts, capable of advancing humanity's understanding of the world and the cosmos. But the Book of Enoch reveals that these were not mere academic lessons. They were forms of knowledge that could easily be twisted and misused. With magic, humanity could manipulate nature and each other. With astrology, they could attempt to predict and control their fate. With the power of warfare, they could conquer and destroy. In short, the Watchers' forbidden knowledge made humanity capable of things they could never have imagined, but it also introduced the capacity for greed, violence, manipulation, and despair. What makes this narrative so compelling is that it echoes a warning that resonates to this day. Knowledge in the wrong hands can lead to ruin. For the people of Enoch's time, this ruin came swiftly. The forbidden knowledge led to chaos and devastation, ultimately resulting in the Great Flood. The very knowledge that was meant to empower humanity instead became its undoing. But the consequences of the Watchers' actions didn't end with the flood. According to the Book of Enoch, even after the physical destruction of the Nephilim and the purging of the earth, the spirits of these half-angel, half-human beings remained. Since they were neither fully angelic nor fully human, they were denied a place in both heaven and hell. Instead, they became earthbound spirits, entities we might recognize today as demons. These spirits, filled with a hatred for humanity and a longing to reclaim their lost physical forms, continue to haunt the earth, seeking to influence and corrupt humanity from beyond. What's remarkable here is that Enoch's description of demons is not simply that of fallen angels, as is often suggested in modern interpretations, but of the disembodied spirits of beings who were a product of forbidden knowledge. This knowledge had not only corrupted their physical forms, but had also corrupted their souls. Their lingering presence serves as an eternal reminder of the consequences of stepping beyond the boundaries set by divine law. Now, some might wonder, Was this knowledge truly a curse, or could it have been a blessing in disguise? In many ways, this forbidden knowledge advanced humanity, providing a foundation for future sciences, technologies, and even arts. It laid the groundwork for the civilizations that followed, sparking a kind of enlightenment. Yet the Book of Enoch suggests that this knowledge was tainted, introduced prematurely and irresponsibly, leading to a balance that humanity was not yet ready to handle. One of the most haunting aspects of this narrative is the idea that knowledge itself is neither good nor evil. It is merely a tool, but without wisdom, without maturity, the misuse of knowledge can lead to unimaginable suffering. The Book of Enoch paints a vivid picture of this truth, showing how the very gifts intended to elevate humanity ultimately dragged it down into a spiral of violence, greed, and despair. This theme of forbidden knowledge echoes throughout history, as humanity has often grappled with the question of whether certain discoveries are worth the risks they entail. Even in our modern world, we face dilemmas over the ethical use of technology, scientific breakthroughs, and power. From genetic engineering to artificial intelligence, the questions raised in the Book of Enoch remain deeply relevant. Are we, like the people of Enoch's time, standing on the edge of a precipice, about to unleash forces we may not fully understand? Enoch's writings don't offer easy answers to these questions, but they do serve as a powerful cautionary tale. The Book of Enoch warns that the pursuit of knowledge for its own sake, without regard for its consequences, can lead to disaster. It is a message that urges us to consider not just the knowledge we seek, but the wisdom with which we apply it. As we unravel these ancient mysteries, we're left to wonder, are we any different from those who first encountered the teachings of the Watchers? Are we wiser, more restrained, or do we too possess a dangerous curiosity that might one day lead us to our downfall? The Book of Enoch doesn't condemn knowledge itself, but rather warns of the arrogance that often accompanies it. It cautions against the hubris of believing that we can control powers and forces beyond our understanding. And in doing so, it challenges us to look at our own world, our own advancements, and our own choices, with a sense of humility and respect for the unknown. As we move forward, let's keep in mind this question: is forbidden knowledge truly a gift, or is it a curse? And if it is a gift, how can we wield it responsibly? The Nephilim, giants on earth. As we dive deeper into the mysteries of the Book of Enoch, we come to one of its most incredible and haunting revelations: the existence of the Nephilim, a race of giants born of the union between divine beings and human women. The very mention of these giants stirs up countless questions. Who were they? What role did they play in the ancient world? And why did their presence on Earth become such a significant part of Enoch's narrative? In most modern retellings, the Nephilim are often mentioned only briefly, almost as a myth or legend that has little impact on the overall story of humanity. But in the Book of Enoch, the Nephilim are central figures, their existence representing the consequences of divine beings breaking the natural order. These giants weren't merely tall, they were powerful, destructive, and a direct challenge to the harmony between the Nephilim. A time before the flood, when these giants walked the earth and left an indelible mark on human history. The origins of the Nephilim. The origin story of the Nephilim begins with the Watchers, those celestial beings who, despite their divine duties, chose to defy their mandate. They descended to earth, led by their chief Semjaza, and entered into a pact that would forever alter the fabric of the world. Bound by their oath, they took human women as wives, and through these unions gave rise to a race that was neither fully human nor fully divine. This new race, the Nephilim, were not like anything Earth had ever seen. Described as giants, they possessed immense strength and were capable of extraordinary feats. But they were also known for their insatiable appetites, both for food and power. In Enoch's account, these giants became ravenous, consuming resources faster than they could be produced, and soon they turned against humanity itself. Imagine a world where humans, who were once the stewards of creation, found themselves at the mercy of beings with godlike power and monstrous hunger. The Nephilim quickly became a force of chaos, their very presence disrupting the balance between heaven and earth. The impact of the Nephilim on ancient civilization. What makes the Nephilim story so compelling isn't just their physical dominance, but the cultural and moral impact they had on the world around them. In the Book of Enoch, these giants weren't just bystanders in history. They were central figures in the decline of human civilization. With their immense strength and lack of restraint, they became rulers, warlords, and despots, bending human society to their will. The text tells us that the Nephilim devoured all the acquisitions of men, a haunting phrase that suggests they consumed everything humanity had to offer: resources, culture, and even lives. The Nephilim introduced an era of violence, dominating those who were once their kin. But it was not only physical resources that they devoured. They also corrupted humanity's moral compass, introducing a culture of bloodshed and lawlessness. Through these beings, a dark age began to take shape. Humanity, once a creation held in high regard, was now on the brink of destruction, with each passing day marked by the Nephilim's insatiable appetite for power and control. But the Nephilim didn't merely act alone. Their influence over humanity created a cycle of violence that perpetuated itself. As humans began to worship and even imitate these beings, wars, jealousy, and pride began to spread across the land. The Nephilim's actions rippled through humanity, creating not only physical destruction, but also moral and spiritual decay. The role of the Nephilim in the divine plan. So, what was the purpose of the Nephilim in the grand design? Was their existence a cosmic accident, or were they a necessary consequence of the Watcher's defiance? According to the Book of Enoch, the Nephilim's existence served as a warning and a lesson, a dramatic illustration of what happens when boundaries are crossed between the divine and the mortal. The Nephilim were not supposed to exist, and yet here they were, embodiments of a broken order. They were reminders that even those with great power, like the Watchers, were bound by certain limits, and when those limits were breached, the consequences were catastrophic. The text suggests that the very presence of the Nephilim and their domination of Earth forced humanity and the divine realm to confront uncomfortable truths about power, choice, and responsibility. The Nephilim became symbols of rebellion and corruption, but they also served as a kind of catalyst, sparking the need for divine intervention in the form of the Great Flood. The downfall of the Nephilim. As the Nephilim's power and influence spread, so too did their depravity. Their unchecked dominance drove humanity to a breaking point, and the earth itself seemed to cry out under the weight of their corruption. The Book of Enoch describes how humanity, overwhelmed by the violence and suffering inflicted by the Nephilim, began to plead with God for intervention. This divine plea did not go unheard. In response to the cries of suffering, God summoned a council of archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. Their mission was clear. They were to put an end to the Watcher's influence, and by extension, the reign of the Nephilim. This intervention marks one of the most intense moments in Enoch's narrative, where the natural order is restored by force and the giant's tyrannical rule is brought to a dramatic end. Archangel Gabriel was given a particularly daunting task: to incite conflict among the Nephilim so they would destroy each other. According to the Book of Enoch, the giants turned on one another in a brutal, apocalyptic battle, tearing each other apart. This internal war was both a consequence of their own violence and a judgment from the heavens. In their final moments, the Nephilim faced the horrors they had inflicted on humanity, becoming victims of their own brutality. But even this brutal end was not the final judgment. The great flood was soon to come, a divine cleansing that would eradicate the remaining traces of the Nephilim's reign. With the waters, the earth was purged of the corruption they had spread. However, the legacy of the Nephilim endured in a more insidious form. The spirits of the Nephilim, an everlasting presence. The Book of Enoch contains a chilling revelation. Though the Nephilim were destroyed physically, their spirits lived on. Because these beings were neither fully human nor fully angelic, they were denied a place in both heaven and hell. Trapped between realms, they became what we might call demons, restless, malevolent spirits lingering on earth, driven by a deep-seated bitterness and anger toward humanity. These spirits, the Book of Enoch tells us, became a source of torment for humans. Their influence was far from over, as they now sought to corrupt and possess human souls. This transformation of the Nephilim from physical giants to spiritual entities marks a shift in the supernatural landscape. No longer bound to physical forms, they became even more dangerous, operating in the shadows, seeking to fulfill their insatiable desires through human vessels. This concept redefines our understanding of evil spirits. In Enoch's account, demons are not merely fallen angels, but are tied directly to the physical realm, as former giants who once walked among humans. They embody the residual energy of rebellion and corruption, bound to haunt the world they once sought to rule. Legacy and impact of the Nephilim story. The story of the Nephilim is more than just a tale of giants who once ruled the earth. It's a story that forces us to question the boundaries between humanity and the divine, to confront the consequences of power without restraint, and to reflect on the hidden forces that may still shape our world today. The presence of the Nephilim serves as a cautionary tale, warning us of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the pursuit of power for its own sake. Their story has lingered through the ages, influencing countless myths, legends, and religious beliefs. From ancient texts to modern interpretations, the Nephilim have remained symbols of both awe and fear. But perhaps the most profound lesson the Nephilim leave us is the reminder that actions have lasting consequences. The forbidden union between the Watchers and human women set off a chain reaction that altered the course of history, and even after their physical destruction, the influence of the Nephilim endured. They remind us of the hidden costs of seeking power without wisdom, of breaking natural laws without regard for the consequences. As we continue our journey through the Book of Enoch, we'll explore the next chapter of this story. Enoch's own journey through the heavens, where he witnessed the judgment of the Watchers and the destiny that awaited those who had strayed from the divine path. But as we leave the world of the Nephilim behind, let's carry with us the haunting question: could these ancient spirits still be influencing humanity today, waiting for another chance to return to power? Enoch's journey through the heavens. As the mysteries of the Book of Enoch unfold, we arrive at one of the most captivating and awe-inspiring parts of Enoch's tale, his journey through the heavens. This isn't just a trip across the clouds or a symbolic vision. In these accounts, Enoch is granted access to realms far beyond human comprehension. He becomes an eyewitness to the structure of the cosmos, the mechanisms of divine justice, and the mysteries of creation. But why was Enoch chosen for such a journey? And what did he see that was so important it had to be hidden from humanity for centuries? The journey Enoch took wasn't merely to satisfy his own curiosity. In the ancient world, a journey through the heavens was the highest privilege, often reserved only for prophets and divine messengers. Enoch was granted this access because of his righteousness and unique relationship with God. Genesis tells us that Enoch walked with God, but the Book of Enoch goes a step further, describing how this divine relationship allowed Enoch to serve as an intermediary between the heavens and humanity. He wasn't only a prophet, he was a scribe, recording divine knowledge that would be preserved for future generations. The realm closest to earth. Enoch's journey begins in the first heaven, the realm closest to earth. Here, he is shown the foundations of the natural world, the movements of the stars, the cycles of the sun and moon, and the storehouses of elements such as snow, hail, and rain. This heaven is a place of cosmic order, where all things have their assigned roles and contribute to the balance of creation. Imagine standing beside Enoch as he watches the celestial bodies in motion, each star and planet moving in perfect harmony. He would have seen the vault of the heavens from a vantage point no human had ever seen before. For the ancient mind, this vision of the heavens as a grand mechanism would have been a revelation, the realization that the universe operates according to divine principles and that each part plays a role in the grand design. But there's more to this realm than stars and seasons. Enoch also sees the gates through which souls depart from earth, traveling to their destinations in the afterlife. These gates represent a spiritual passage, a reminder that all things are connected, and that life itself is part of an intricate system governed by divine laws. The second heaven, the place of darkness and judgment. As Enoch ascends into the second heaven, the tone of his journey shifts dramatically. Unlike the first heaven, which is filled with light and order, the second heaven is a realm of darkness. Here, Enoch encounters a place where rebellious angels are bound and awaiting judgment. This is a stark reminder that even celestial beings are subject to divine justice. Enoch sees these fallen angels, some of whom were once watchers, confined in chains and awaiting their ultimate punishment. Their actions, which disrupted the natural order, have condemned them to this dark realm. Enoch is shown that no one, not even the powerful beings who once walked freely among humans, is exempt from accountability. The presence of this realm introduces a theme of justice and consequence. It's a warning that actions carry weight, and that those who misuse their power will face judgment, even if it doesn't happen immediately. The second heaven represents a place of waiting, of suspended fate, where the condemned await the final judgment that will determine their eternal destiny. The third heaven, the garden of righteousness. After the darkness of the second heaven, Enoch enters a realm of peace and beauty, the third heaven, known as the Garden of Righteousness. Here, he witnesses what can only be described as a paradise for the righteous, a place where souls rest in harmony, free from pain and suffering. This realm is often compared to Eden, a sanctuary where those who led lives of virtue are rewarded. Enoch observes gardens with trees bearing abundant fruit, streams of clear water, and an atmosphere filled with peace. The third heaven symbolizes the rewards that await the righteous, a divine promise that those who honor the principles of good and justice will find peace in the afterlife. For Enoch, witnessing this paradise would have been a powerful moment. He saw firsthand the blessings reserved for those who remained faithful to the divine order, a vision that would inspire hope for those on earth who struggled with suffering and temptation. This realm serves as a reminder that despite the hardships of the earthly world, there is a place where righteousness is rewarded. The fourth and fifth heavens, the angelic realms. As Enoch continues his ascent, he reaches the fourth and fifth heavens, where he encounters the angelic hosts. These realms are bustling with activity, filled with angelic beings who serve various functions in maintaining the order of the cosmos. In the fourth heaven, Enoch sees angels in worship and prayer, their voices rising in unison as they praise the Creator. This is a realm of devotion where the entire purpose of its inhabitants is to glorify God. The scene Enoch witnesses is one of awe and reverence, a reminder that the divine is constantly honored by those closest to it. In the fifth heaven, Enoch encounters the Grigori, or the Watchers, who did not join in the rebellion of the fallen angels. These Watchers continue to observe humanity and the world, but they do so with sorrow, for they understand the pain that resulted from the actions of their fallen brethren. Enoch sees that the angels too feel a sense of loss and regret for what transpired, a powerful moment that bridges the divine and human experiences of suffering. These realms emphasize the role of the angels as caretakers and witnesses, beings who maintain a watchful eye on the world below. They exist not only as servants of God, but as custodians of creation, constantly monitoring and intervening when necessary to uphold the balance of the universe. The sixth heaven, the place of cosmic knowledge. In the sixth heaven, Enoch witnesses something extraordinary, the realm of cosmic knowledge, where he encounters angels responsible for astronomical and scientific knowledge. Here, he learns about the hidden workings of the universe, from the movements of the planets to the mysteries of the stars. The beings in this realm are not just observers, but scholars of the cosmos, gathering knowledge that reveals the intricate design of creation. For Enoch, this heaven is a profound revelation, one that shows him the depth of divine wisdom. In this realm, the angels possess knowledge that transcends human understanding, a reminder that the cosmos is far more complex and organized than we could ever imagine. This insight would later influence Enoch's teachings as he sought to share a glimpse of this cosmic order with humanity. This realm is significant because it suggests that knowledge itself is a divine gift, one that should be respected and used wisely. It reminds us that the quest for knowledge is sacred, a journey that brings us closer to understanding the Creator. The seventh heaven, the throne room of God. Finally, Enoch reaches the highest heaven. The seventh heaven, the throne room of God. Here, in the most sacred of realms, he stands in the presence of the Almighty. The seventh heaven is beyond description, a place filled with light and glory beyond anything Enoch could have imagined. It is here that he witnesses the divine throne, surrounded by countless angels who serve in awe and reverence. This is the pinnacle of Enoch's journey, where he receives knowledge and wisdom directly from God. He is entrusted with secrets of the universe, prophecies for humanity, and a vision of the future. This moment cements Enoch's role as a prophet, chosen to carry this divine knowledge back to earth. But Enoch's experience in the seventh heaven is not just about grandeur. It is a reminder of the ultimate authority of God. All that he has seen, the realms of peace, of judgment, of knowledge, leads back to this singular truth, that all things are part of a divine order, and that order is maintained by a power beyond human understanding. Enoch's return and his mission. After witnessing these realms, Enoch is returned to earth, forever changed by what he has seen. He now carries knowledge of the cosmos, the afterlife, and the moral laws that govern all existence. His mission is clear: to warn humanity of the consequences of straying from divine order, and to offer hope for those who remain faithful. For the people of his time, Enoch's journey through the heavens would have been a revelation, a glimpse of realities far beyond earthly experience. His message to humanity is one of caution, but also of profound hope. He reminds us that even amidst darkness and suffering, there is a divine plan, a place of peace for those who live in righteousness. As we conclude this part of Enoch's story, one question lingers. Could Enoch's journey hold insights for us today, offering us a map of the spiritual realms, or even a warning of what lies beyond our physical world? Let's continue to explore the mysteries of Enoch as we unravel the wisdom he returned to earth with, secrets that would impact generations to come. Enoch's journey through the heavens. Now that we've glimpsed the powerful beings and forbidden knowledge revealed to Enoch, we arrive at perhaps the most extraordinary part of his story, his journey through the heavens themselves. This is not a simple vision nor a dream, but a guided tour through realms unseen, each unveiling secrets about creation, judgment, and the ultimate purpose of existence. Imagine being shown the very architecture of the universe, seeing where divine beings dwell, where justice is dispensed, and where knowledge beyond human comprehension resides. This was Enoch's experience, an honor granted to him alone because of his profound closeness with God. As we explore Enoch's journey through the heavens, prepare to be transported to realms beyond human reach. Places that reveal not just the physical structure of the cosmos, but also its spiritual depths, its rewards, and its punishments. Each heaven unfolds with its own purpose, illustrating an interconnected design where nothing is random and everything follows divine order. The first heaven, Earth's reflection, and the foundations of natural law. The journey begins with Enoch entering the first heaven, the realm closest to Earth. It is here that he witnesses the great forces that govern the natural world. This heaven is both familiar and otherworldly, echoing the world we know, but functioning as a blueprint sees the mechanisms behind life and death, the cycles that govern the sun, moon, and stars. He's shown storehouses, places where elements like snow, rain, and wind are held until released upon the earth. For ancient readers, this would have been a powerful image. The idea that everything from seasons to weather patterns had a designated purpose, preordained by the Creator. In this heaven, Enoch begins to understand the divinely ordered systems behind what we see every day. The natural world, he realizes, operates as an extension of God's will, an intricately organized design that maintains harmony in ways that go far beyond human influence. But this is just the beginning of his journey. The higher he ascends, the deeper the mysteries become. The second heaven, the prison of the fallen ones. Enoch's ascent continues, and he reaches the second heaven, a realm that starkly contrasts with the peace of the first. Here, he finds a place of darkness and confinement, a prison where the rebellious angels are bound and await divine judgment. These fallen beings, many of whom once served as watchers, broke their vows and committed grievous acts on earth. They now suffer a bitter fate, their power stripped, held in chains, waiting for the final judgment. Imagine Enoch standing among them, witnessing their torment, knowing they once walked among men, seduced by earthly desires. This second heaven offers a chilling warning that no being, regardless of their strength or origin, is immune to justice. It's a reminder that choices carry weight, a theme that echoes throughout the Book of Enoch. For Enoch, this realm is both a lesson in accountability and a revelation of the consequences awaiting those who defy the Creator's will. The third heaven, paradise, the reward of the righteous. After the darkness of the second heaven, Enoch is granted entry into the third heaven, a place of light, peace, and abundance. Known as the Garden of Righteousness, this realm resembles the paradise we often imagine, a sanctuary where the righteous dwell after death, free from suffering and filled with joy. This paradise is more than just beautiful. It's alive, vibrant with trees bearing endless fruit, waters flowing pure and clear, and an atmosphere that exudes tranquility. For Enoch, this is a vision of hope. It's the promise of a blessed afterlife for those who remain faithful and pure in a world filled with temptations. Imagine standing in Enoch's shoes, observing souls resting in peace, surrounded by divine protection, and understanding that this paradise exists as a reward. It is a place of eternal rest beyond the suffering and pain that mark the human experience. This glimpse of paradise is one that would have resonated deeply with early believers, inspiring them to hold fast to their faith even in the face of adversity. The fourth and fifth heavens, the realms of the angelic hosts. Enoch's journey takes him through the fourth and fifth heavens, where he witnesses the angels fulfilling their roles in the divine order. In the fourth heaven, he observes angels singing hymns of praise, filling the realm with a reverence that echoes throughout creation. This is a place of pure worship, where devotion to the Creator is the sole purpose. In the fifth heaven, Enoch encounters a different group of angels, the Grigori, the Watchers who remain loyal to God. Unlike the fallen Watchers, these beings have stayed true to their purpose, observing humanity and acting as guardians. However, Enoch notes a profound sadness among them, a sorrow for the sins of their fallen brethren and the suffering that resulted on earth. These angelic realms highlight the profound connection between the heavens and earth, where angels operate not just as servants of God, but as custodians of creation. Enoch witnesses how angels, even those who remain loyal, carry a weight of sorrow for the fractured world they watch over, emphasizing the impact of divine justice and mercy. The sixth heaven, the realm of cosmic knowledge. The sixth heaven reveals mysteries that Enoch himself struggles to comprehend fully. Here, he encounters angels whose duty is to understand the cosmos itself, beings who possess knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and the hidden forces that govern the universe. In this heaven, Enoch is shown the principles that govern celestial bodies, the calculations behind planetary movements, and the cycles of the stars. The angels here are scholars of the universe, tasked with uncovering and understanding the laws that bind creation together. For Enoch, this is a humbling experience, a realization that human knowledge is but a fraction of what exists in the divine realms. This realm represents the sanctity of knowledge itself. To know the cosmos, these angels show, is to know the mind of God. For Enoch, this is an understanding that creation is not random, but governed by principles that reflect the Creator's will. The seventh heaven, the throne of the Almighty. Finally, Enoch reaches the seventh heaven, the ultimate destination, the place where he stands in the presence of the Almighty. This is the throne room of God, a place of unapproachable light and glory, beyond human words. Enoch is struck by the majesty of this realm, where countless angels stand in reverence before the Creator. In this heaven, Enoch is granted knowledge of future events, a vision of the final judgment, and a profound understanding of divine justice and mercy. This experience is so overwhelming that Enoch can barely find words to describe it. He sees the very heart of creation, the center of all power and love, the origin from which all things flow. Here, Enoch's mission is solidified. He is entrusted with a message for humanity, a call to righteousness, a warning against sin, and a promise of redemption for those who remain faithful. The seventh heaven represents the culmination of Enoch's journey, a place where all mysteries converge, where the divine purpose for humanity and the cosmos is revealed, the return and the mission. When Enoch returns to earth, he carries with him knowledge of the divine realms, an understanding of the cosmic order, and a responsibility to share these truths with humanity. His journey through the heavens wasn't merely a privilege, it was a mission, a task to bridge the gap between the divine and the earthly, to offer humanity a glimpse of what lies beyond the physical world. Narrator, imagine Enoch, returning from this journey, a man forever changed. He has seen paradise, judgment, and the divine throne. He understands the structure of the heavens, the purpose of the angels, and the consequences that await those who turn away from God's will. His story is a reminder that every choice we make, Every path we choose resonates not just in our lives, but in the very fabric of the universe. As we conclude this journey with Enoch, we are left to ponder, what do these revelations mean for us today? Could Enoch's journey be a map for our own spiritual growth, a guide to understanding our place in the cosmos, or even a warning of what lies beyond our world? The journey through the heavens is one of awe, of mystery, and ultimately of hope. A hope that reminds us that even amidst chaos and suffering, there is a divine order, a place of peace, and a God who watches over all. Why was the Book of Enoch hidden? After exploring the extraordinary journeys, revelations, and cosmic knowledge within the Book of Enoch, one question lingers, almost hauntingly. Why was this powerful text hidden from most of humanity for centuries? What was so dangerous, so threatening about Enoch's account that it was deemed unfit for inclusion in the canonical Bible? In this section, we'll delve into the theories and historical events that might explain why this ancient book, once widely accepted by early Jewish and Christian communities, was relegated to the shadows. As we explore the hidden nature of the Book of Enoch, we're not only asking what was hidden, but why. Was it due to theological controversies, fear of its secrets, or a deeper desire to suppress certain ideas? Let's journey back to a time when the early church fathers and rabbinical scholars were deciding which texts would shape the spiritual narrative of generations to come. The Book of Enoch was revered by several early Jewish sects, particularly by the Essenes, a group often associated with the Dead Sea Scrolls found in Qumran. For them, Enoch's revelations about the Watchers, the Nephilim, and the coming judgment were not only accepted, but seen as essential teachings. This was a text that connected their beliefs about divine intervention, the role of angels, and the moral corruption of humanity. In the early Christian era, many believed that Enoch's writings held valuable truths. The New Testament itself references Enoch. The Book of Jude even directly quotes a prophecy from Enoch about the judgment of the ungodly. Early Christian thinkers like Tertullian viewed the Book of Enoch as inspired. So how did a text that influenced both Jewish mysticism and early Christian doctrine become so formalized? Church leaders were tasked with determining which texts aligned with the developing orthodoxy. Around the 4th century, as councils and influential leaders began to establish the canonical Bible, the writings that didn't align seamlessly with mainstream theology were scrutinized more closely. The Church was becoming increasingly concerned with maintaining a clear narrative about creation, sin, and redemption, and they may have feared that the Book of Enoch introduced complexities that could confuse or even endanger the faith of common believers. For instance, the depiction of angels in Enoch as beings who could rebel, fall, and procreate with humans was a theological challenge. It presented a world where divine beings had profound, tangible interactions with humans, introducing ideas that might blur the lines between God, angels, and humankind. To some early church authorities, this might have been too problematic, as it contrasted sharply with their desire for a transcendent, omnipotent God who remained distinct from humanity's moral failings. Imagine for a moment that you're a church leader responsible for safeguarding the faith of millions. Would you willingly allow a text that suggests angels could rebel, that cosmic knowledge could be dangerous, and that humanity has been tainted by interactions with supernatural beings? Another potential reason for suppressing the Book of Enoch lies in its emphasis on forbidden knowledge. Enoch's account describes angels imparting hidden knowledge to humanity, teaching everything from the crafting of weapons to the mysteries of astrology. This wasn't simply a narrative about sin, it was a warning about knowledge's power to uplift or corrupt. To early religious authorities, this concept might have been seen as a threat. If knowledge had the power to corrupt humanity so deeply, as Enoch suggested, then should people be allowed to interpret and seek knowledge on their own terms? Or would they require an authority to guide, restrict, and interpret the divine truths for them? In this context, the Book of Enoch could be perceived as promoting a form of spiritual independence that might undermine the role of organized religious leadership. In the wrong hands, Enoch's descriptions of celestial realms and angelic rebellion might inspire heretical interpretations. To those in power, the idea of individuals accessing hidden or forbidden knowledge might be akin to the story of the Garden of Eden itself, a dangerous temptation that could lead people astray from the safe doctrines endorsed by the Church. By the medieval period, many mystical and apocryphal texts, including the Book of Enoch, had faded from mainstream religious teachings. Western Christianity was moving towards a more rational, systematic theology, and the mystical elements of Enoch's visions and revelations didn't fit neatly within this new framework. In a sense, the suppression of Enoch's writings reflects a broader trend of reducing mysticism's role in religious life. While some Eastern Christian traditions, as well as Ethiopian Christianity, continued to revere Enoch's writings, the Western Church distanced itself from texts that blurred the line between divine revelation and cosmic mystery. Ironically, it was precisely because the Book of Enoch was hidden that it became so intriguing to later generations. When it resurfaced in Ethiopia in the 18th century, scholars and theologians were fascinated by this mysterious text that had been lost to Western Christianity for over 1,000 years. Suddenly, here was a book that not only offered fresh insights into ancient cosmology and the role of angels, but also filled in gaps in the traditional biblical narrative. Its rediscovery sparked debates about the origins of the Bible, the authenticity of apocryphal writings, and the ancient understanding of the cosmos. The Book of Enoch provided a bridge back to early Jewish and Christian beliefs that had been almost entirely forgotten. Beliefs that emphasized humanity's complex relationship with the divine, the reality of supernatural beings, and the consequences of forbidden knowledge. So, why was the Book of Enoch hidden? Was it simply a theological oversight? Or was it deliberately suppressed to protect the faith, and perhaps to protect humanity from knowledge it was deemed unready to handle? The truth may lie somewhere in between. While it's clear that the Book of Enoch presented challenges to early church orthodoxy, it's also possible that its removal from the biblical canon was intended as a safeguard. After all, Enoch's descriptions of the heavens, his encounters with the Watchers, and his prophecies of judgment are not just tales. They are invitations to understand the universe in a way that could either enlighten or overwhelm. Today, the Book of Enoch stands as a testament to the enduring power of hidden knowledge. Its very absence from the traditional Bible has given it a kind of forbidden allure, drawing those who seek truths beyond the conventional narrative. Its story is a reminder that there is always more to learn, that some truths take time to resurface, and that understanding often requires confronting what we are initially afraid to know. The Book of Enoch may have been hidden, but perhaps its rediscovery now holds a message for our generation, a reminder that history, spirituality, and knowledge are complex, layered, and ever-evolving. In the end, Enoch's hidden journey through the heavens is a mirror held up to our own quest for understanding. It challenges us to ask, what truths might we be afraid to uncover? What knowledge lies hidden from us, waiting for the right time to be revealed? This is not just a history lesson. It's an invitation to explore, to question, and to seek the wisdom that was once considered too dangerous for humanity to know.